I'm going to try to text her right now to see if I can get some response from her. But we don't know if she's going to be with us or not.
Okay, this is a message. Oh, there is a blizzard. This is why I want to
Blizzard?
Log on. Blizzard.
Huh? A blizzard? And the blizzard, it was kind of interesting because they said, I think we have already begun our lesson. They said that it's a blizzard with whiteout conditions. I'm going to write that in the chat. Whiteout conditions. Blizzard with whiteout conditions.
Guys, can you see the chat? Can everybody see the chat? You can know. Yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think a whiteout condition is?
Joe, please, could you switch to everyone's chat?
Oh goodness, let me do it again.
So you can see there are two modes of chat. The everyone, and if you use the drop-down menu, you can see the names of the people. Oh, I see Jen Marston.
Do you?
I think she is joining us. Yes, that's good.
Bravo. So whiteout conditions, okay?
Yeah.
So does anyone know what a whiteout condition is?
Hello, Jen.
Hello.
Oh, wonderful.
She's here,
Jan is
yeah.
here.
Three whiteout conditions, actually.
What? So Moscow friends, what do you think whiteout conditions are? What does that mean?
Wow, whiteout conditions, okay.
Huh?
You mean that there is lots of snow?
Tatiana, please, you are the instructor. You ask the students.
Oh no, I'm participating. I'm having fun. I'm no instructor now.
No.
Okay, I'll keep going.
That's good. Whiteout. I'm going to let Professor Marston explain whiteout, but this is also whiteout. This stuff is called whiteout.
Wow, a relic from the last century.
Well, this is called whiteout. You know what this is. When you make a mistake on a piece, you can paint it. So, what, Professor Marston? What is a whiteout condition?
It is a blizzard. It is a snowstorm with blowing winds and so much snow that it is impossible to see your hand in front of your face. And that is the condition in Des Moines, Iowa, in the middle of the Great Plains where I live today.
Right now, huh? Right now.
And as long as my power holds, I'm happy to be with you.
Well, it's nice to see you. I was preparing to send you a text to say, are you there? Anyway, good morning to you.
Good morning. I've just come from another meeting in New York. That's why I'm late.
Yeah. Okay. So now everybody is here. So tomorrow we might be also joined by Professor Smith from University of Arlington, Texas. And today my name is Konstantin Shestakov. Well, I'm a faculty member of Omsk Law Academy. Now it's called Academy. And I'm a former colleague and a friend of Tatiana Senyushkina, your professor. And here today we are going to introduce you briefly our course and our format of our teaching English online. And you can see today Professor Joseph Lira from Texas, from the city of Austin, and who is also affiliated with Drake University. And you can see Professor Emerita Jen Marston, who used to work in Drake University, and now we are working together. We organize and teach English online to Russian students. So, and our course is called America and Americans Today. and we and now I pass the floor to Professor Lever and Professor Marston. Okay.
I just
Correct me if I did something wrong. If I said something wrong.
It's nice to be with you this morning, and I say this morning because it's 9 in the morning in Austin, Texas. Omsk is exactly 12 time zones away from Austin, from the central time zone in the United States. So good morning or good evening, as the case may be. I enjoyed this class. It's not an English class, mind you. We don't teach grammar and spelling, though those things are important. That's not the focus of our work. We talk about American culture, the culture of the American people, because I think we all agree that cultural differences divide people, nations, as much as language differences do, and that having a cultural understanding, having a level of cultural competence is just as important as having linguistic competence. I assume that all of you speak English very well, and as time permits, I'd like to look at I'd like to ask you to look at a couple examples of American culture and see if you can make sense out of it. But I've been in Moscow many times, and particularly at this time of the year, I'm glad that I'm not there because it's very cold, and it's very nice to be in a temperate climate like Austin. Professor Jan Marston, my dear friend.
Yes, I was looking to see if I could get a picture of the snow in my yard to upload. And so, Kostya, if you could pass me the little ball, I will do that. And it is a big deal. It, very unusual for us to have so much snow. And so I wanted to just give you an idea of it. Here is, you see a bird in flight on the right, and you see my little fir tree, and on the left you see the birds that we feed at our bird feeder. And this was at a moment of some clarity when I took the opportunity to take a picture about 2 hours ago. And
is that 2816? I don't have a image here on this.
Yeah, I think, Jan, it's still uploading. We don't see any image yet.
Oh, okay.
At least in Omsk, we don't see. In Moscow, oh yeah, okay,
there
good.
It is. Okay.
It comes.
So,
Ooh.
That's the consequences of blizzard, right?
yes, yes. And this was during a small respite of the blizzard. So my entire city is shut down today. Everywhere is closed because the snow plows have not been able to keep the streets open. So what I want to know is, in Moscow, do you have snow on the ground now?
Please speak up, girls.
Yes.
We have snow.
And do you have anything that looks like this?
Yeah, we have everything looking like this.
So we're getting ready to celebrate Christmas, which for us happens on December 25th. And for people in America, it's the biggest holiday of the year, and much bigger than New Year's. And so people are getting ready to celebrate that, and it's kind of a fantasy for everyone to have a white Christmas, a Christmas with snow on the ground. It's romantic. And do you have any such ideas about New Year's? I know you don't celebrate Christmas as enthusiastically as we do in America. This is actually something we call the holidays, and you can see, if you are aware of the chat box and can follow that along, for our class, this is an important part of what we do, and it's one of the reasons why there's more than one person here, so that you can see things in writing as you hear them. The holidays include Christmas, New Year's, and several other holidays, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah, I can't spell Hanukkah, it seems. And so if you want to be what we would say politically correct, you don't say Merry Christmas, you say Happy Holidays. Joe, didn't you have another photograph that was particularly American that you were gonna?
I do, but I want I want to mention this phrase, politically correct. Does anyone? Can one of the students explain what that means? Who's on? Alyona, Olga, Tatiana? What does politically correct mean?
It's correct between countries.
Well, politically correct. What does that mean? Alyona, what is politically correct? Alyona?
Did you hear me?
Tatiana, what is politically correct? What is politically correct? Well, let me ask you a question. Let's see. How about if you say, how about these two words, handicapped and disabled, or blind or visually impaired? Do you see those? Handicapped and disabled, blind and visually impaired. Everyone has the chat box?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but like handicapped and disabled, those mean the same thing, and blind and visually impaired, those mean the same thing. But in those pairs, one member of the pair is what is called politically correct. So who could tell me in the pair blind and visually impaired, which one is politically correct? Which one is politically correct? This is important in modern American life. How about if we say pro-abortion and pro-choice? Pro-abortion or pro-choice? Which one of those would you say is politically correct? Olga Vasina, can you tell me? What does politically correct mean?
Politically correct, I think it's the term which can be correct between different countries.
Both can be correct. When you say blind and visually impaired, one of those words describes a physical characteristic, describes a deficiency. Okay. When you say pro-abortion or pro-choice,
I don't know what does it mean.
Right. One has values in it, and the other one is more neutral, and that's what politically correct means. Is that it's the more neutral word. It's one that does not offend, that gives no offense. Okay.
Okay.
Some people might call me old. Some people might call me senior. Okay, if you pass me the baton, I have another question to ask you. I want to show you another picture. Give me a minute to find this.
So about politically correct, I might say I am pro-choice, but I probably would never say I'm pro-abortion, even though if I say I'm pro-choice, that means I believe in a woman's right to make choices about her own body.
Okay, so can all of you see this picture on the screen? The little tab is named Elite.
Just a second, Joe. I will comment on how to use the whiteboard. Guys, you can scale this picture to fit in your screen. In the left down, in the bottom, the left side, you can see the percentage. And you can use like 70 or 100% or whatever, so that you will be able to see the whole picture. Okay?
Everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay, Bella, are you there? I'm looking for a live microphone. Somebody. Bella?
Yes,
There you
I
go.
see.
Good. Could you just read just read what you see? Just read the English.
Elite Cafe. Betty and Kyle are getting hitched.
Okay. Good. Now, Bella, your English is good. What does this mean? What is this? What is this side say?
It means that this cafe for special people, not for special people, but it's not a usual cafe.
elite cafe, cafe for special people. That's a good explanation. And how about the business about Berkeley? What does that mean? Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched.
I don't know what it exactly means.
Okay. This is a hard question. This is a hard question. It deliberately hard. But so far so good. It's a cafe for a special class of people. Okay. Anyone else? Bella, thank you. Who else? One of the Olgas, perhaps? Okay, Olga, what does this mean? Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched. Olga, what do you think?
Olga, could you say it again, please? I'm sorry. We have huge feedback. I think when I turn on the microphone of Olga, not Olga Vasina's, another Olga's microphone, we get this kind of mind-numbing sound. Like,
okay.
Ringing.
Okay.
I think that we are experiencing some kind of effect of the speakers, maybe, or maybe because you are all in the same room, and we have this interference
Machine
of
to
the
machine.
machine to machine. Yeah. Sometimes it works. Sometimes yeah. That's why it's better to use headphones.
All right. Well, who ladies, has an idea about what this means? Who has an idea? Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched.
You can also write it in the chat box yourself.
Well, that's a good. There you go. Or you could write it.
Maybe Catherine.
Huh? What do you think? Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched. This is. Anything? Who are Berkeley and Kyle? And why do they merit special attention on this sign, on this is called a billboard, I guess, announcement board. Okay.
Alona?
Anyone? Catherine? Catherine, what do you think about the name of this place, Elite Cafe? Does that sound funny to you?
Some special and make
Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you what this. I live in Austin, and about 100 miles north of Austin is an old Texas city called Waco, spelled ACO, Waco. And this cafe is in Waco. It's on the highway. And I took this picture earlier this summer as I was driving by there one day. And the Elite Cafe, well, the first thing I want to say is that in the United States, a cafe is a kind of it's not a very fancy place. It's not an elegant place to eat. It serves plain food, and maybe there are tablecloths on the table, but probably not. And if you get a napkin, it's going to be a paper napkin, not a cloth napkin. So to call a cafe elite is kind of, in English, it sounds a little funny. it sounds a little pretentious. Sounds a little pretentious. But the important thing is Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched. Getting hitched in colloquial, in sort of country English, means to get married. To get married. Berkeley and Kyle are getting hitched. Berkeley and Kyle собираются жениться. They're getting hitched. Собираются пожениться. Are getting hitched. Getting hitched.
Which means
Okay, so
tied,
Berkeley and Kyle,
tied up. Hitched means tied up.
Tied up. Hitched. So Berkeley and Kyle. Does anyone know? Can anyone guess which one is the man and which one is the woman? Or are these which one is the guy and which one is the girl?
Is Berkeley a woman?
Huh?
Is Berkeley a woman?
You know, I don't remember because at the time I remember that Professor Smith looked this up on the internet. I think Berkeley is the woman,
That's right.
and
I
Kyle
remember.
is the guy. But these names are also typical of modern American names, where you can't tell. You know, you kind of wish that one of them would be a Victor and one would be Anna, and you would know which is the man and which is the woman, Berkeley and Kyle. But these were two students in this city who were getting married. All right. Well, good job. Good job. I'm going to show you one other picture, and then we can let's see. Let me find you one more picture. This is one that I took not long ago.
It used to be before the internet that Joe would be able to take a picture like the Elite Cafe, but he would never be able to find out who the people were involved. And so when he showed this picture before, we had the resource of the internet. And so we were able to learn from a search who these people were and why you could put it up on their billboard. Waco is actually kind of a small town, and this was news to all the patrons of the cafe that these people were engaged to be married.
Okay, so here's another sign. Who would like to read this one? Who would like to read this one? Who's on? Anyone? Who has a live microphone?
Okay, looks like Tatiana
Tatiana?
has a live microphone.
Tatiana, how about, could you just read?
Tanya, could you give the microphone to your student?
Yep. Well, we can be using it. Well, we
Yes.
have them next to me. One of them is Lena, and she's willing to participate in that.
Great.
So everybody see the picture?
Yeah, Lena is sitting next to Tatiana. Lena, could you please read it? Yeah, read the sign.
I can see yellow, come back.
Y'all come back. Okay.
Come back.
Good. Good. So, Lena, what does this mean?
I think it's all the people that are in this place will come back sometime.
Okay.
Maybe.
How about this? How about that word y'all? What does that mean?
All the people.
All the people. Okay. All the people.
All
You know
right.
what else? That's huh?
Y'all is a contraction. It has two words in it, and you don't see all the letters. Can you imagine what the first word is that we don't see all of?
This is a contraction. What is the full form of this word?
You all.
You all. Yeah, exactly.
You are kind.
Uh-huh. You all. Good. Good. Now, where in the United States do they say y'all come back? Huh? Where do they say that? Where do they say that? They say that in the South. They say that in the South. Y'all. Y'all. Y'all come. Y'all come back. And this was a sign at the exit of a state park that I visited not long ago. Y'all come back. And it means come visit us again. We would like to see you again. One of the problems of the English language is that we have this pronoun you. And you means a lot of different things, and context is very important. I can say to the President Obama, "Sir, you are a good leader." Or I can say to my little 3-year-old child, "You need to finish your dinner." Or I can say to this entire group, "You live in a very cold place." And you can't tell whether it's singular or plural or formal or familiar, except in the South, where there's a special extra form called y'all, and that's a V. Y'all.
That's definitely plural.
That's definitely plural.
You don't say it to just one person. And it is one of those things that linguists would call a regional marker. That means if you say y'all, that means you're from the South. And if you're not from the South, you wouldn't say y'all. Where I live now in the Midwest, and also in the Northwest, people would say you guys. You guys is the plural equivalent to y'all in the South. But in New York, among people who are not cultured, you're going to hear use or use guys.
Is this good English? Is this correct English? You bet. It's absolutely correct English. Is it formal, literary English? No, not at all. It's the language that people speak, and it's the language that people identify with. Anyway, these are two small examples, and I think that they're amusing and they're kind of interesting because they indicate the kind of work that we do with American and Americans today.
Actually, part of the challenge that we try to offer you is to help you understand how the language works for real people who live in the United States and who use a lot of terms which are not the kind that you learn from books.
Last semester, we have covered topics such as humor, current events, and earlier this week, of course, we talked about gun control, and we talked about violence in the United States as a way to understand the culture of the American people. When you talk about culture, you're talking about values, you're talking about individual values, political norms, economic differences, all of those kinds of things. And that's the focus of America and Americans today. We use these meetings. We have a Moodle site where students do written reports, commentaries. We have studied film. What else? Someone to help me.
Politics.
Politics. Well,
And so, do you have any questions for us about any topic of living in America? You can write your questions in the chat, or you can speak them. Because one of the things about real life is that it happens in real time. And so we are ready for anything. And while you are waiting to think of any question you might want to ask, you could also, I want to know, does any one of you know who this person is? This image that I've put up on the screen now, it is called slide 269696. Who is this? And why was he one of the 10 top news stories in the United States during the last year? Who is this person? And if you don't know who he is, what could you assume, or what could you imagine from the picture? What do you see in the picture? You do? Can anyone see this picture?
I don't know the hero, but I think it's somebody possible.
It is, can you imagine what he might be named? Part of his name is visible in the picture.
Bill.
It's B for big, and I guess you could call it his last name, is the kind of creature he is. Can you tell what kind of creature he is?
I kind of bird. Big bird.
Yes, he's big bird. And every child, every American child since 1980 has grown up with Big Bird. He's a television personality.
I don't know.
And he has a show for children. It's called Sesame Street. And Sesame Street is on educational television. And it uses big puppets. They're called Muppets. Now, if he's been on since 1980, why should he be a key figure in this year's news? Do you have an idea? I would really encourage you to write something in the chat box. Big Bird is funded, or Sesame Street is funded partially with federal money.
Federal money.
So, in effect, he's partly paid by the government. He was in the news because of the presidential election.
Let me ask a question. Can one of you, and I know that there was a lot of coverage in Russia about the United States presidential election. Can one of you, any of you, name one principal difference in the platforms of Mitt Romney, the Republican, and Barack Obama, the Democrat? One principal difference in their campaign platform. Anyone? Difference. It might be in the area of taxation. It might be in the area of economics or foreign affairs or what? One difference. Because Big Bird, it illustrates one of the answers to one of the differences between the two men. You're brainstorming. Okay, good. Okay. We're listening, friends. Okay. I hope you're having that discussion in English.
We are having a laugh in English.
Okay, good. Bravo. Well, let's see. Do we have a solution? Do we have an answer? Anyone? Anyone? Hands up. Anyone? Big Bird and the elections.
Obama likes birds?
Obama likes birds. Well, yes, he does. Because you know the program Sesame Street, Ulica Sesam, huh?
Yes.
And, it's an educational program, and it receives money from the federal government. And Mitt Romney said, enough. He says the government spends money, and we need to cut unnecessary programs. And one of the programs that he wanted to cut was federal support of public television. And there are Romney, and there are many programs on public television, but for some reason, it must have been the alignment of the planets. He mentioned Big Bird. He said Big Bird is not going to like me. Well, of all the things he could have said, that was the most unfortunate, because Big Bird is a gentle and good-humored character, and everybody in the United States likes Big Bird. So when Mitt Romney picked on Big Bird, he became a bit of a laughing stock, and his proposal was not taken very, very seriously. That's a very trivial and very simplistic piece of the entire election, which was a very complicated and, as you know, a very divisive election in the United States. But it illustrates once again the point that cultural factors, cultural symbols, Elite Cafe, Big Bird, are important in understanding Americans today.
Well, I've posted another picture of Big Bird with some children, and his picture's been photoshopped a little bit. So he has will work for food, because Romney threatened to fire him. And a key issue in the United States election was jobs. Romney is famous for taking over a company and firing its employees. So this is an internet meme, the picture you're looking at. What's a meme?
What does it mean? Internet mean? What does it mean? Okay. And do yeah?
Meme is often an image or a YouTube video that goes viral. It travels quickly like an infection, and millions of people watch it. this picture was an internet meme during the election. So this is your chance to ask your last chance to ask a question today, as we're almost out of time.
Questions? Any questions about the program, about us, about any questions?
Do you believe that tomorrow will be the apocalypse?
I didn't understand the I didn't understand the question. Could you repeat it? I didn't understand it.
Tomorrow will be what? A catastrophe?
Armageddon. 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 Well, I believe it's
in Russia, yes, only in Russia.
Buy any green bananas. Don't buy green bananas. I miss don't buy green bananas. Well,
What does it mean? Don't buy green bananas.
don't buy green bananas. Нельзя купить зеленые бананы. Don't buy green bananas because you won't get a chance to eat them.
Okay. They won't have time to ripen.
Won't have time to ripen, exactly.
One of my favorite American political commentators and cartoonists has a strip on the internet, which you can Google, called Doonesbury. It's a cartoon that has been featuring the idea of the end of the Mayan calendar. And that would be tomorrow, which is the solstice. The solstice has been observed as a holiday by cultures since time began. And I don't think the Mayans, who were very clever people, were doing anything besides looking at the end of a cycle. And I think that they saw all life as cyclical. And I don't know anybody who thinks the world is ending.
Not Obama for sure.
No.
Neither Rami.
For most of us, life goes on.
Goes on.
And I invite you to figure out a way to make life go on with us, because it's really fun. It's fun for me. I do not speak Russian. I speak several other languages, but Russian isn't one of them. So I'm here to help you know what ideas that you have that are limited by your language, and you can see that when I get completely puzzled. My favorite comment of this session has been, "Don't buy green bananas." And so I look forward to a new year after we get through tomorrow, and I hope that we will see each other again.
Okay, I'm sorry, Carrie, but please. Okay, well, I think that we Russians are more optimistic than you are, because the bananas we buy are much greener than yours. No, we hold more hope to survive in this world.
Professor Flesinko.
Yes. So I think you got just some ideas how we conduct our classes. Our classes usually last about 80 minutes, but it's not limited only to our synchronous classroom communication. I just want to share with you the site that we are using that help us to maintain asynchronous communication, so that when you get a task and students get tasks for the class, they usually prepare it in advance and they post it to the online discussion board. I'm going to share my screen with you. It'll take some time here. So now, yeah, I think you should be able to see now. So that's where we, the course where you get registered. You see the tab participants, and the manager of the course usually controls the people who get enrolled there and the time they spend on the site, and help the students if they have any problem with registration or uploading assignments. And here you can see the permanent link to the online meeting center where we are now. You have this the beginning of semester oral fluency evaluation test, end of semester oral fluency evaluation test, then the course description and requirements, and usually video recordings of all the classes. So every class is recorded and we upload it into the YouTube channel, and you can see now this America Today Fall 2012, and you could see the images of the classes, and if you miss the class or you want to watch it again after the class that you have attended, you can always do it online on YouTube. Then we also upload the materials from each of the classroom with slides, with the students' presentations, and you can always track the students' performance, and you can see the materials of the class here in online course. And finally, I would like to show you this the discussion board. We have different topics. You can see the topics, and students replies to the professor's questions, like for example this one. So there is the task, and the students replies to this task, and then so the students usually reply in advance before the class, and then we discuss what they said in the discussion board. Here you can see we also do some translation work. For example, at one of the last classes we translated an episode from the film Mimino from Russian into English, and it was very fun and interesting to present. The students presented their translations, and the American professors, they commented on it, and the cultural background. Also, students made subtitles, and you can learn how to make subtitles with us and upload them online. We have the special resource .sar.com. Yeah, you can see it. as Professor Lira mentioned, the focus of our course is not the grammar or vocabulary as like per se. We are interested in the clash of cultures, the knowledge and the communication, how the communication is influenced by our cultural differences. So, and we have diverse activities. Students prepare their PowerPoint presentations, and they share their slides. They do translation, comments. They write in the forum. So, different activities. Well, so that's what I was going to say, that we don't have only synchronous communication like we are having right now, but also asynchronous, which is also a very important part of our work. Okay. So, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask right now, or you can always ask your questions to Tatiana, or to write an email to us. If you want, you can get registered at the site babylang.com. I will send you the links and all the information. Now that I have your emails, which is very important, I can send you spam all the time, like bombard you.
We are all teachers.
Okay, yes, you are all teachers. Yeah. So I was just going to ask. So you all major in now in English, right? Your major now is English and what?
I have Spanish German.
Mm-hmm. Because the institute is called the Institute of International Law and Economics, but you are not.
Kostya, you are Russian. Kostya, you are Russian. You shouldn't be asking such questions.
Because I'm asking this question deliberately because to let Professor Lira, Professor Marston understand who we are talking to. Because our students in Omsk, mostly the students of Omsk Law Academy, and they major in law, and their minor is English and translation. So that's also the. As far as I understand, the guys who are here, they major in English now, right? I'm sorry if I can't speak. Okay. Well, okay. I think Tatiana will let me know more later.
Okay, well.
Okay, no problem.
All people here are adults and they've got one higher education.
Mm-hmm.
They are here to get another degree in higher education. And they want to learn foreign languages. And these who are here today, they are speaking two foreign languages, English and Spanish. Those who will be here tomorrow major in English and German. Well, and some of them will be those major in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
These people are eager to master English. Well, but somehow they are inhibited to the. I don't know why.
They're inhibited?
Because of you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Intimidation.
I just want to say a few words about the connectivity today. So I think that the connectivity is very good today, but the sound is not perfect, maybe, because because we are sitting in one classroom and there is kind of interference between the machines. Normally, we have very good sound, crystal clear, and normally students and professors use the headsets, and that makes the communication much better, like technically speaking. Yeah. So.
Okay, because we do want to avoid that whistling subsound, extra sound.
And the reason that you have that whistling is feedback from each computer that is in use, because it recycles the sound from each computer's speakers. And when you plug in a headset, then the sound comes in through the earphone, and it blocks this sound through the speakers. And so headsets are really important, or another possibility is people connect from their own personal computers at home. I don't know how feasible that would be for you, but a headset usually takes care of the difficulties that we have had today.
Yes.
Estoy contentísima para saber que ustedes estudian también en el español. Es una de las idiomas que me da más gracia. Pero estamos aquí hoy para hablar inglés. Sometimes it's useful to have a second language where you know a word and it blocks that. In your case, you might know a word in Spanish or know how to say something in Spanish, but not in English. And I think I'm the only one among the American professors who speaks English. Spanish. What am I saying?
one of those languages. We should have used the 1 in a million example.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, friends, thank you for joining us today. Thank
Yeah.
you. And happy holiday. Merry Christmas to you all, and best wishes for the coming New Year. I hope that we will see some of you in class in the spring semester.
Happy New Year and goodbye.
Спасибо. Спасибо всем. Спасибо, с наступающим. И да, мы надеемся, правда, с вами увидеться в начале февраля, может быть, уже. Да.
Okay, thank you very much for the session.